Set data is a hugely powerful node that you can add to your RightMessage flows. And this node allows you to manipulate and interact with the data that you have about subscribers or visitors on your website. So in this quick tutorial, I want to show you 3 different ways that you can use set data. The first way is to use set data to update information that you have about known subscribers. So depending on the capabilities of your email platform, set data can update custom fields or apply tags or trigger events when certain conditions are met. And the example I'd like to give here is, let's say that somebody comes to my website from myaffiliate.com. I would like to update a custom field based on that. So what I can do is I added the condition check already. And on the yes path, I can drag out a set data node. And I can choose set custom field for the action type. Then select affiliate link and put in here my affiliate. So if this is true, if somebody runs this flow on my website and they came from this domain, they're going to get their affiliate link custom field updated to be my affiliate. Now, if they're not on my list yet, which is probably going to be the case if they came from an affiliate, we will sit on this data until they opt in. So if they opt in an hour from now or a week from now, at that point in time, we'll then synchronize the data that we've been sitting on up to their contact record. The next example would be how you can use set data to adjust scores. So scores within RightMessage are temporary numbers that go up or they go down. And usually people use scores to do things like score quizzes. So maybe you have people taking a quiz and there are 3 different outcomes that people can fall into. Depending on how they answer different questions, they might adjust positively towards a certain outcome or maybe get subtracted from an outcome. Bad example would be, what's your favorite food? If they choose apple, you +1 the red score. If they choose banana, you +1 the yellow score. That's a rough way of how people often use scores within RightMessage. I can use set data to arbitrarily adjust a score even outside of a question. So I could say that if somebody has visited pricing in the past, the pricing page in the past, I'd like to then adjust a score to indicate that they are a high value person because they've checked out my pricing page and that means a lot to me. So I'm going to choose update score, which is the default. And I'm going to type in, let's call this VIP. So we're going to modify the score named VIP, and we're going to add 3 points to it. So if this is true, they get 3 points added to VIP. And because these scores only work within the context of a single flow, presumably you would have a lot more sophistication in your flow. You'd be having it so depending on different answers to questions, maybe it adds to VIP or subtracts from VIP. Maybe you're checking other pages on your website, other behaviors or whatever else. And you're basically just at the end of the flow, somebody's going to have a VIP score, which could be a lot of points or very few points. And then what usually you would do is at the end, you'd have a condition that checks the value of that score. So I'm going to add a new condition and I'm going to choose the scoring and data category, select lead score, choose VIP. And let's say if it's greater than 5, we will then give them an offer. So maybe this would be some sort of book a call offer or special one-to-one consultation offer or something, right? So this is a way where you can really simply and easily add to or tally up a score and then check at the end, what is their score? And depending on what it is, you can show a different outcome. That's the second way that you can use set data. And the third way that I'd like to show you is to use it to set more permanent data that doesn't exist in the email platform, but instead exists in the visitor's browser. So RightMessage has the concept of variables. And a variable by default lasts forever, or at least until they clear their cache. And it can be whatever you'd like. It could be a counter. It could be just some random number. It could be a text. It could be anything really. And the example that I want to show you of how variables could be used would be, let's say that I want to make it so on every single page view, the offer shown at the end in the blue box that you see on your screen, that changes. Remember that RightMessage flows run uniquely on every single page view. So I'd like to make it so on the first page view, they see offer A. And then on the next page view, they'd see offer B. And then following that, they go back to offer A and then B and so on and so forth. So I can use variables to do that. So as you can see right here, let me get rid of other stuff real quick. We have a single offer called offer A. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a set data node above this that in this case, we're going to set a variable. And I'll call this variable last offer. And I'm going to set the value to be A. And I can have it expire in an hour or a week or whatever else. But I'm just going to say that this is forever, right? So what will happen is this runs. They get the last offer variable set to A, and then they get shown offer A. Now, in the next page view, this flow is going to run again. So they'll see A again, which is not what we want. So the way to work around this would be to add a condition above this. And here we're going to look at what is the value of last offer. And if it's A, which it would be on the second page, we'll go down the yes path. And then we're going to show offer B. But the problem here is we're not done, because now what will happen is they'll now see offer B on page 2 and beyond. It will never go back to offer A. So the fix for this is to use yet another set data node to now set last offer to equal B. So what will happen now is the page loads for the very first time. They go down the no path because they don't have any variables set. Last offer gets set to A, and they're shown offer A. On the next page view, this runs again. Last offer is A, so they'll go down the yes path. Now last offer is B, and they'll be shown offer B. And on every subsequent page view, it'll just go back and forth between A and B. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what you could do with set data. It is a hugely powerful tool. It does take a bit to get your head around it, but I know once you start using it, you'll never want to go back to not using it.